stunning looks than swift.
Right, India versus Pakistan, and I know a number of us would be focused on the in-form batters from both sides. That's what we've seen in the first few games of this World Cup. But Dale Steyn, let's talk about your favourite subject. I'm assuming it is still fast bowling, even a few years after retirement?
Yep, fast bowling coach, so I suppose I enjoy talking about it, coaching it, and offering advice where I can. But yep, my favourite format of the game.
Yeah, let's not get you offering advice. Let's get you getting insightful about what's working for Jasprit Bumrah, and perhaps, if it's fair to say, what's not for Shaheen Shah Afridi, given these two bowlers lead their respective sides and attacks. How they do often coincides with how the team does. And what you're noticing from Bumrah is a player who doesn't even seem like he was missing for 7-8 months.
Yeah, he looks amazing. He's hit the ground running. I actually thought that at the start of the tournament, I thought he might take a couple games just to kind of find his feet. And it was almost a surprise pick that they went with him, given that he had been injured and he hadn't played as much cricket. And I thought maybe Shami might just sneak in. But Bumrah being Bumrah, he's gotten that place and he's shown everyone exactly why he belongs at the highest level and first choice when it comes to India's fast bowling stock. I think what he's got right so far is that he's really been consistent in his lengths and his lines. He's obviously familiar with his conditions, and you'll hear us say this over and over again. And I think he's had the beautiful thing of being able to bowl to quite a number of right-handed batters. So his natural shape, his natural style is to be right arm over. He's allowed to run in and play a game of catch with KL Rahul as his wicketkeeper. He bowls in good straight lines, hits a good line and length. Where Shaheen Shah Afridi, on the other hand, I found has got the other way around. He's had to go and search for a little bit of swing to right-handed batters. There hasn't been a lot of that on offer. And he also looks like he's just searching for a little bit of wickets right now, and hasn't been as consistent and looking to just hold line and length as much as somebody like Bumrah has. And it doesn't always mean that you're going to get the rewards. Sometimes you can bowl badly and get a lot of wickets, but other times you can bowl really well and pick up wickets. So I find that those are probably the two differences between Bumrah and Shaheen Shah Afridi right now.
When you remarked that you were surprised as to how well Bumrah has returned from injury, what is it about the nature of the injury itself, which was a stress fracture that he had on the back, and then the best part of a year, such a long period? What is it that you saw in him and you thought, I'm surprised he's getting that right, after such a long break?
Firstly, you've got to trust your body. I always find that that's the biggest thing when you're coming back from injury, especially a stress fracture. Puts you out for a very long time, and there's a couple of things as a fast bowler that you're worried about. Is going full tilt, because the moment you go full tilt, that's when something might go again. And it's not just the back. There's a lot of other injuries that come with fast bowlers, and you're kind of always focusing on the back, but there's always something else. There's always a little hamstring, or there's a little quad, or there's a knee. It's the beautiful thing about playing cricket is you play with long trousers, so nobody sees the tape that your ankles are covered in, your toes, your knees, and all of these things. So the fact that he's been able to come back, bowl at the pace that he's had, and bowl with the intensity that he's had has been very impressive for me. But then he's also been able to land the ball on a tickie. He's been able to land it exactly where he wants to, which is a sign of somebody who's in control of their skill. And clearly Bumrah has put in a lot of hard work in the time that he's had off, and it's showing now when it comes to the games.
What would you like to see Shaheen Afridi do on days where conditions aren't helpful, when he's not getting it to swing or shape early on, which can happen in this format, and then you just think like Shaheen Shah Afridi goes missing? What does he need to do to not go missing, if I can put it that way?
I think he needs to stay in the contest a little bit longer. I feel like he's just searching a little bit. And then also when he has these return spells, he seems to start off with a pretty bad ball. I've watched him, and I'm sure we can get the stats on this, but I've watched him on his first few deliveries. He's bowled short and wide, for example, and he's gone a couple cuts. Those go for boundaries, and now he needs to draw it back and kind of claw his way back into the contest as well as the over. And you can sometimes lose it, especially when you're playing here in India, where runs are pretty free-flowing as it is. And if you're just off the mark, you're going to travel. So I want to see him stay in the contest a little bit longer. Just if he can remain patient, he might bowl 10 overs where he doesn't get any wickets. But the next game, he'll get reward. He'll be rewarded for the hard work that he's kind of put in the past.
I guess it's pretty clear as to which bowler you think is at the top of his game right now.
Yeah, at the start of the competition, I tilted my head in the direction of maybe a Bolt and a Siraj and a couple others. That doesn't mean that they're not going to come good. This is still a month tournament ahead, but there have been a few surprises in the way that Bumrah has certainly come out and bowled. Now, didn't ever think that he was a bad bowler to start off with. I thought it just might take him a little bit longer, but he's certainly impressed me the most of all the bowlers that have participated this far.
Stunning looks, then swift,